The Source is checking in now with Emily Kovacs from the Niagara Folk Arts and Multicultural Center in St. Catharines. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Emily, a couple of weeks ago, you were able to finally open the doors at the Robbie for some of your services. Can you tell us what services are being offered in person?
Certainly. So at this point, we have in-person mental health supports for newcomers. We also have curbside pickup for individuals who may need support with their documentation, some of the craft supplies and all of the art supplies for our newcomer seniors programs, and so basic curbside pickup for some of our programming, and then the rest of the programs for the remainder of the building continues to happen virtually. So we have a hybrid model, but we thought it was very important for us to provide some in-person support, specifically because newcomers have more complex challenges in general. And, we saw an uptick in both mental health and violence against women issues early on in COVID. So this was our response to that.
You're also offering some services online. I hesitate to use the word virtual because virtual would imply that they're not actually happening. They're happening, but in an online basis.
That's correct. Yes. So we interchange the terminology, and yes, in fact, they're very much involved. They are online. The clients are participating, and it is interactive. So we do have workshops that are happening with regards to not only ESL classes, but also job search workshop mentorship programs, and lots of other art-based programming as well for all of our general programs at the center.
Emily, with borders closed and air travel canceled, has there been a drop in the number of newcomers coming into the Niagara area during COVID-19?
Well, yes. So certainly what we do see is that there are no, because of the borders are closed, there are no new migration that's happening to Niagara. However, we do have, even with these existing population that we have, we maintained roughly about 80% of our numbers. So that means that the individuals who are staying here are requesting more services than usual. So, we had about a 20% drop overall, which is, when you're thinking about it, it's actually an increase in our services because none of those individuals are newcomers. They're the existing newcomers. So we are anticipating that there will continue to be an upward migration in all of our numbers, and that we have communicated that to our funders very loud and clear, and they have been responsive in supporting us in increased funding. So that's been wonderful.
The Folk Arts Festival, you had to cancel it this year, but you've got something coming up, which is very, very interesting. Some different ways to do things.
Yes. So we are thinking about putting things upside down on their head. Instead of having the Folk Arts Festival, we're thinking about coming to bring arts to the folks. So a little play on words. So making sure that we respect and support all of the restrictions that COVID has provided. And rather than having large gatherings, we're focusing on smaller gatherings that are supported by artists in a more intimate setting, and it's something that's more mobile. So we have put out a call to artists, and these are artists that are either culturally specific or not. We are accepting all genres and all performers, and we're going to put up all of the performers on a website. And what we're going to do is have them have a live auction, and these artists then will be able to perform on lawns and front lawns and places like in front of a long-term care facility or a birthday party or something that's small and intimate. And rather than having large displays of artistic performances, we're going to actually ask that they stay small and less than 50 or under, between 10 and 50, depending on what the COVID requirements will be once we roll out this particular segment. So it's very interesting. It's very different. I often say it's one of the a few times where we're actually asking the audience to show up in smaller numbers and not large crowds. It's kind of unusual for us to ask that, small people show up rather than more. But we are ready, and we're also working very closely with, the city of St. Catharines, the bylaw office, as well as the Niagara region, to make sure that we fulfill all of the requirements. But also, we're working very closely with our other festival partners to make sure that we have a coordinated effort, that we don't, we don't have multiple events happening in one day, and we have a coordinated effort to make sure that we support each other in during these COVID times.
Emily, one of my favorite parts of Folk Arts Festival is always getting out to the different cultural centers and especially sampling the cultural cuisine. Will people have a chance to do any of that?
Yes, we are also planning curbside pickups. So rather than having the beautiful open houses that you're familiar with during the regular portions of the festival, instead we're going to have a drive-by style curbside pickup. So if you're still interested in having some pierogies or some cabbage rolls or any of the untraditional pieces that you like, maybe you like the falafel from the Syrian event or the open houses, then we are hoping that you'll be able to still do that with a curbside pickup. And I think that that also proves to be somewhat supportive and lucrative for the organizations as well. So look out for that. There will be some dates coming up, and some of our delicacies are still going to be available.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Emily, for joining us today. Information is on the website. Thanks again.